It does not take any time for me to fall asleep. I think I might have been out before my head hit the pillow, but for the first time in a really long time, I had no dreams. Zero. I always slept better when I was with the guys, and now I know it's because more than half of them were my mates. But this is different. I am aware that I'm asleep and not dreaming, but I don't seem able to wake myself up or move. I wonder if I am recovering? Do mates normally have shks for hours and hours on end when they first mate? I guess if Xander and Oscar are any indicator, they could barely keep their hands off each other. When they finally found Mina, they stopped pretending altogether. I can't talk to my wolf, but maybe I can't do that when I'm sleeping either. Who knows? I'm done trying to figure me out. I don't have long, sweet girl. I can already feel her trying to push past your barriers. Huh, who are you? Random voice in my head? There is nothing to see or look at, but the voice is melodic and safe. I guess I can only go with it right now. You know you are in danger. She wants you just as bad as he does. Use that against them. They both think they are the one in control, but neither of them can gain what they want without the other. Is there any possible way that I could get a straight answer about anything, that is going on right now? I am so lost and confused, and it actually sucks. I know people want to kill me or sacrifice me or both maybe, and I kind of understand that demented thinking, but what could I be doing to protect the people around me from getting hurt in the process? How do I keep everyone safe? Am I strong enough to survive what is coming for me? You were born for this. You are coming into your powers now, many of which you have already started to unlock. I am so proud of you. I'm sorry it has not been an easy journey, but you would not be the warrior and alpha that's needed without your struggles and strength to overcome them. We don't need to talk about that, because if you made any of that happen on purpose, I am done here. I get that. My training and experiences led me here and all of that fluffy shit, but no one deserves to be purposely put through the things I went through. I can't wish my past away. But I don't want to hear it was for my own good or it made you stronger. I did not orchestrate the bad situations, but I did influence the reactions and lack of actions towards your situations. I am sorry, but I needed to know if you were worthy. Fuck you. You can take your disembodied voice and fuck right the fuck off. I understand your feelings might be more harsh towards me, but do know that my intentions have always been good. I want to save as many of my innocent pups as I can, and you are the only way. Are you going to tell me how to win in this war that we have been flying blind in for years, or do I just get to keep making things up and finding out what works? Your body and mind will be ready soon, and I won't need to explain anything. You will know what to do when the time comes. For now, your mates are getting worried, and they need to see that you are all right. I will speak to you again soon. What in the hell is going on? That question is gravely as it comes out of my actual mouth. Oh, thank the goddess. I don't think I could have taken another day. I thought we hurt you, sweetness. What happened? I try to roll over, but I'm being held in place by a massive arm and leg, holding me down. You've been asleep for days, love. I tilt my head and can see Cam seated in a chair next to the bed. I appear to be in the center, with Oliver wrapped around me like a twist tie. You were fine the first day, and we just let you sleep, taking turns to stay with you. The second day you broke out in a sweat and had the kind of fever that made your whole body turn red. Dakota continues the story. We even carried you to the bath and dunked your body in an ice bath. You didn't move a muscle. We only knew you were okay because your breathing never changed. Then you decided that you didn't have enough party tricks, so you decided to turn into a glow stick. Oliver grumbles into my hair. What does that even mean? He shifts me, and I notice my muscles still don't want to work right. He turns me to face him. It means that your body started to glow, but from under your skin. Gentry said it was probably whatever enhancements you were supposed to get when you mated. So we waited and worried. You did drink for us, which must just be your body's natural self-preservation. We started taking shifts to keep an eye on you. Yesterday, the three of us all collapsed, and when we came to, there were some differences. Dakota says playfully. What do you mean? Just tell me you liked Oliver's tattoos. You thought they were sexy, right? What are you babbling about? I roll my eyes as he moves into my view, pulling his shirt off of his head. Oh shit, what happened to you? I try to sit up, but my body won't move. Oliver, let me up. I want to see. I'm not holding you down, Biddy. That's the problem. You really haven't moved much. I don't know if it's because you've been sleeping, your new powers, or all the things we did to you. Maybe a combination. I look back to Dakota and then Cam, who also peels off his shirt. He literally has to peel it like it doesn't fit anymore. I gasp. Oliver got his overtime. How in the hell did you two manage to do that in days? Wait, how many days? I feel like I am sleeping through this whole war. Maybe no one needs me at all. I say half joking to myself. They are both in black pants, that's all. They are bigger, more muscular. They already took up a ton of space. Now it's going to be worse. The tan skin of their arms and upper chest is covered in tribal tattoo artwork. They look mouth-watering. Apparently, whatever spell you have over us decided that you preferred Oliver's tattoos, and we all needed to match. Dakota laughs, looking down at himself. I actually have gotten used to them now. I see the appeal. I'm just glad I woke up like this, instead of having to sit through them actually being inked on. I smile. Is that the only thing that is different? I thought we were supposed to get new powers, more powers, whatever. I feel like a guinea pig just waiting to see what each experiment results. I really want to move, but my body is heavy. I guess that's a good sign, though. I can feel my own heaviness. Apparently, no one can tell the three of us apart anymore, Cam says. I mean, that isn't unusual for us, he points between him and Dakota. But now with the eye color, the tattoos, and the size change, even Mom doesn't know who is who, and she was pretty good at guessing when there were only two to pick from. I think 3 is messing with her head. She kept giving us funny looks all day yesterday. He smiles at the thought. How many days have I been out? You never did say. Only 2 days, 1 night. It was more like you needed sleep, not like anything was wrong. Oliver says, still behind me. But with your history, it didn't stop us from worrying. I'm just glad that you can't shut us out anymore, but you have some weird-ass dreams. What do you mean, I can't shut you out? You were always able to hide what you were really feeling. Now we can all feel it, and when you're particularly emotional, we can hear it. Who were you talking to? Oliver turns me to look at him. My body is starting to wake up, but the heaviness is still there. What makes you think I was talking to someone? Maybe I was just talking in my sleep. I shrug. I could hear your side of the conversation, but not the other. And when you tell someone, "F you," you can take your disembodied voice and right the f off. And are you going to tell me how to win in this war that we have been flying blind in for years? Or do I just get to keep making things up and finding out what works? I'm inclined to think that you were actually having a conversation. I thought maybe it was your wolf telling you something else stupid that you had to do, but I don't get the feeling you would tell your wolf to fuck off. He smiles at me, and I can't help but smile back. Then I turn to Cam and Coda. Did you guys hear it too? Yeah, but I didn't catch everything that you were saying. Maybe it's a proximity thing, since Oliver was lying with you. Dakota was keeping watch, and I was downstairs with the team. Hearing that, my body naturally wanted to shoot up to a sitting position, but I didn't do more than flail a bit in Oliver's arms. Wait, did something happen while I was asleep? No, sweetness, relax. Nothing like that. But we figured after all the bullshit that Mike clown threw at us, we should be ready for something to happen either on your birthday or after you were fully mated to us. We've been taking turns resting with you, keeping watch, and working with the team. We finally got a report from Gwen, too. The pack members are getting antsy with the Alpha King, feeling like a burden, but Mina seems to be making their comfort and care her personal responsibility. Osiston thinks she's nesting. Dakota smiles at my friend's antics. She has been taking personal care of Lily and Sebastian and the other kids who have parents here still fighting. I think they all feel helpless and useless. They want to contribute to the pack while they are there, but no one will let them, viewing them as victims. Cam muses. I know Xander has tried to intervene, but he has his own duties and a very pregnant mate to take care of too. We haven't gotten a lot of information from the royal pack, but I think that is still Adriel. Gentry thinks she might be getting weak. maintaining all of the different magic that she has been casting. You put a pretty big damper on her forces when you took out Mike and the other fighters she had to maintain her control spell. Okay, I'm sure this is too much info, but I really need to go to the bathroom and I can still barely move. Can someone help me, please? I look between the three of them, embarrassed that I had to ask a question like that. Love, why didn't you say anything sooner? Don't be embarrassed. This is what mates are for, and let's be honest, we've explored a lot of your body. Let us help you. He rolls his eyes as he picks me up effortlessly and carries me to the bathroom. Cam runs me a bath, and they all help me clean up. By the time I am ready to get dressed, I can move freely again, but I still feel heavy. It's not until I step in front of the full-length mirror that I notice I come up to Dakota's shoulder. What? I have always had to strain to look at all of them, barely reaching their chests, and they have all gotten bigger. But I guess that extended to me too. I mean, next to them I'm still small, but maybe I'm a little closer to average now. I will only know when I stand next to my girlfriends. The guys and I ate in our kitchen, and they filled me in on what's been happening more in depth. Osistan paid a visit and didn't notice anyone hanging around our perimeter, but he wasn't able to mind-link anyone, even Nicholas, until he crossed into our borders. I thought that would have been solved with the breakdown of the pentagram, but I guess we still have work to do. They did find out that cell service and other forms of communication could cross over, so our wolves and their link were being targeted. I tucked that thought away because they were either underestimating us or thinking too small, which neither option sounds right, but I don't know why they would only want to separate our wolves. We come up with additional things we want to check on and work through with our team, but to be perfectly honest, the whole team knows us well enough that the list isn't very long. The biggest thing is the magic part. The guys haven't had any experience with magic beyond what I have brought here. My team and I saw plenty while we were out on missions, but avoiding being affected by magic is completely different than having it and learning how to use it against our enemy on the fly. We head downstairs and I don't make it 2 steps off the elevator before being assaulted by Sierra. She jumps into my arms, knowing I can handle her loving aggression, but she jumps back quickly to hold me at arm's length. Holy shit, Sky, you look amazing. Why didn't I have a growth spurt when we mated? She looks accusingly over her shoulder at, I assume, Sam, who I can't see from here. Yep, still smaller than everyone, just not as noticeable now. No tattoos like your boys, though, she pouts. I thought maybe all 4 of you would match. Yeah, 'cause that's what we needed, 4 of them to tell apart. Sam laughs, wrapping his arms around her waist and smiling at me. I'm glad you were able to join the land of the mated, even though you cheated and got yours early. He sticks his tongue out at me, and on impulse I move to snatch it, and to my surprise I do. Everyone around me goes still as I stare at my pointer finger and thumb holding his tongue over my friend's shoulder. Sierra looks from my hand to me. I didn't even see you move. I didn't make a conscious choice to move, my body just did it. Don le or asser ow, Sam mumbles around my fingers. What? I ask, letting go. Don't tell me you're faster now. I'm really fucked if you are. He whines. We'll have to test the theory later. I look down at my hand like I've never seen it before. Are you all faster? I hope so. I'm tired of being completely outmaneuvered by her. Dakota laughs behind me. Well, you boys have had her for a couple days now. She's ours. Sierra grabs my hand and starts to drag me away. You do remember that she was unconscious, right? Cam asks. Technically speaking, we have not had as much time with her as you got with Sam when you first mated. Yes, but you were also dumb enough to bring her down here where we could snatch her. Sierra shrugs her shoulders. You all do realize her is right here, right? Yes, but they wouldn't let anyone up to see you while you were recovering, so now I need girl time. And your Gamma needs time to bond with you anyway, so suck it up, boys. She's ours. I laugh as she drags me away. And by drag me away, we went out to Ava's garden in the back and straight to the hammock. It didn't take long for Gina and Lil to join us. Okay, tell us what actually happened, because those boys aren't saying much, and I need details like I need air. Sierra squeals at me. A lot happened since I saw you last. You're gonna have to be more specific. I shy away from her maniacal look. You all came storming back from the bunker, and then we didn't see you for days, and the tattooed triplets only came down one at a time. It took hours to figure out it wasn't just Oliver coming and going, by the way. I don't even think they realized at first. They even all smell the same. Actually, you smell like them too. But I guess the scent thing makes sense, since you are mates. But I've never seen anyone change physically. Cam and Coda are covered in tattoos, and Oliver grew an inch taller and filled out to match them. Even you grew. Gina's excited voice sounds dangerously like Sierra's mom. We spend the rest of the afternoon just sitting and talking. I told them about the mating and how I kind of lost control and threw Cam around. I got pointers on what to try with them when I get alone time with each of them, and for once all the sex talk didn't make me blush or shy away. I am no expert, but I also lost any trepidation I had surrounding the idea of mating and being mated to 3 guys. They were right. I wouldn't be satisfied with anything less than the 3 of them. First, I want to thank everyone who has followed Sky's journey this far. I have been writing this story for a year now, and it is surreal that we are still here. When I started, it was for a contest, just to see if the thoughts in my head could be made into something tangible, and it has grown to so much more. My outline and plot has grown and changed as I developed characters further and deeper than I ever expected. I have learned and grown as a writer in this whole process. This is my 3rd book on this platform, and by far, my best and most thought-out work. With that being said, I want to address all the critics. I do actually read the comments and take to heart the things I can actually improve on. Constructive criticism only makes me better, and I appreciate thoughts and insights from readers. Many of you catch things I never would have seen, and I truly love the character discussions. Your outside perspective helps me grow the world I am creating in my stories. But this is not my full-time job. I do my best to post daily. I am a reader here too, and I know what it is like to have to wait days/weeks for chapters to be posted. I am a teacher full-time during the day. I coach dance and gymnastics, and we are currently in our competitive seasons. The children I influence and work with daily are my priority. I have 2 teenage kids of my own who got the genetic capacity to be involved in tons of things. At this time, my son is training for lacrosse, coming off a full and exciting wrestling season. He is also a musician gearing up for shows in and out of school. My daughter is in the final tech weeks of her high school's run of Beauty and the Beast, which she is a freshman and coordinating sound and lights. A job she is completely qualified for and invested in at only 15, surpassing students older than her for her leadership skills and ability to work through things on the fly. I got my Sky inspiration close to home. She is also a competitive dancer, a musician with 3 different groups at school, and they are both in accelerated programs for their schools. I don't say this to brag, although my kids are awesome, but to let you know I am a real person with a real life outside of this app. I write during free moments each and every day. Most days I can produce word count that is worthy of posting as a chapter. Right now I do have days where we are running from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. with barely time to eat. On those days and in those moments, I choose my family and my health over posting a mediocre chapter. I don't want to miss anything in my kids' lives, and I know I have an obligation here too. I don't use AI to write. The words are mine and typed out the old-fashioned way with my own 2 hands. I have no control over the cost of the chapters, and my book is a part of a beta program for formatting, which affects the length of chapters. There is nothing I can do to change those things. I do have a group on Skylar where I interact with my readers and post when updates go live. For many of you, this might help with the waiting game. It is difficult for authors to interact within the chapters on the Good Novel app, so that is where all the behind-the-scenes action is. You can look up my pen name to find us. I really do appreciate everyone for being here and supporting my writing. It means the world to me to know that I can reach so many people. The afternoon floated by, and for a little while, I forgot about being an alpha princess hybrid witch conundrum, and I was just a girl talking with her friends about being a mate. It wasn't until the sun was setting and Ava came looking for us that I realized we had been out here all day. We each took small breaks to grab snacks and go to the bathroom, but we didn't leave this spot the entire day. I don't even remember the last time I did that, when we weren't doing some kind of recon for a job. Skylar, I need to see you and the boys. Can you meet us at Brett's house, please? She didn't wait for an answer, just turned around and walked away. I looked at my friends, confused. Why did she seem afraid to talk to you? Lil asks from my right. No idea, but now I'm curious. Maybe she has information that might help? I say it like a question, 'cause if something bigger was going on, she wouldn't want to meet at a house. She would want action, I think. We all stand and stretch as we speculate what it could be about. I feel like there are so many moving parts, and people in the pack, and a majority of our pack members aren't even here. I have to trust that everyone is doing their job, but at the same time, I feel like I have been so caught up in myself and what I have been going through since I returned that maybe I have missed crucial things. The thought makes me feel terrible, like I am already failing at my job as a part of the leadership of this pack. I used to focus on everyone, and now I have become no better than Kaylee, self-absorbed and self-important. I have to fix that immediately. What has you this miserable, mate? Cam scoops me up from behind. I know it's him without looking or even his scent. I just know, but I didn't hear him approach either. Strange. Just a personal observation, no big deal. I try to brush it off as his fingertips grip my waist and he catches a bare spot between my shirt and leggings. The minor skin-to-skin contact sends flames through my body. I have got to get this attraction under control, otherwise I am liable to catch fire or turn into a glow stick, or whatever happened to me when we mated. But in public. It's bad enough the fire lets everyone know about my intimate endeavors, which my friends were so helpful to point out as we talked. Sierra was at least impressed with my stamina, and that I couldn't give her a count of how many orgasms they gave me, because I was too out of my mind to count. When you are this torn up about it, it is a big deal, and you seem to be bouncing between two distinct emotions. One I don't like, and the other I like a lot. Oliver slides up next to us, pulling me out of my lustful thoughts with his sexy half-smile. Any strong emotion is a big deal. What's up, Smalls? Dakota flanks us on the other side as Cam settles me into a more comfortable bridal carry. I huff out a sigh. I really can't keep anything from them now. I don't particularly like lying, but sometimes feelings are just meant for the person feeling them, nothing to be shared. It's a way of processing, nothing more. Ava came to get me and asked that we meet her at Brett's house, and she wanted to talk to the four of us, which shouldn't be a big deal, but the look on her face said it might be. She almost shied away from us, which isn't like her at all. I just feel like I have been so concerned with my own things that I haven't been paying any attention to the people around us. I don't want to be self-absorbed. I let my chin drop to my chest. I guess it's good she came to you. She has been avoiding us since we mated. Cam says, nudging my temple with his nose so I'll look up at him. He's looking down at me with real concern in his eyes. I don't know if it's all the changes or maybe us mating brought something on. This whole situation is crazy and unpredictable. Who knows how it's affecting the rest of them? I think Sam and Kyle are the only ones who have maintained a normal relationship. But that's probably due to the fact that we have been under an attack threat for almost 2 years now, and they have worked together to make the patrols and training schedules since before you left for training. I notice he leaves it at that I left for training. We'll have to circle back to that discussion. Nothing about us mating has changed that for them. Dad dying set the rest of us on a crash course path to changing the leadership for the pack. There were bound to be growing pains. I don't think Mom, Brett, or even Daniel were prepared to have their whole job basically stripped like that. There's usually a transition period, but with all of the attacks and threats, our transition wasn't standard. I don't think there is anything standard about our pack. I laugh more to myself, but they all smile at me. I mean, you guys do realize that we are next in line for the royal pack until Mina, Xander, and Oscar have their pup, right? Cam stops and looks at me, eyebrows raised. What about Mateo and Gina? He's older than you. Wouldn't that make them the next in line? He continues, walking us through the pack house and out the front door. I think the rank he and Gina chose puts them second. If Gina had chosen to re-establish her pack as the alpha, then yes, we would be equally in line for the throne, but they are here as our betas. It doesn't make the thought any less weird. I try to wiggle out of Cam's arms, but he's not having it. Can I walk, please? I feel like I need to keep moving after being incapacitated for so long. Cam sighs and puts me down reluctantly between himself and Oliver. Dakota moves silently behind me. It only takes a couple minutes to walk to the Gamma house. I move to knock, but Oliver just reaches for the handle and opens it. I guess that makes sense, since he technically grew up in this house. I don't know if the guys spent more time at the pack house or at their own houses when they were younger. It was probably an equal mix, leaning heavily on them spending more time at the pack house. We walk in and can hear voices back towards the kitchen, so we follow the sounds. We walk through, single file, since the guys can't even stand side by side in a normally sized area. I step into the kitchen first to find Ava wrapped in Brett's arms, his lips on her forehead. They are clearly having a moment, and we are interrupting. I stop short, causing Cam to step into me and knock me forward a few steps. He catches me easily and makes sure I'm solid on my feet. It must have been too quick for anyone else to notice, since Cam got out a "huh?" before the two adults looked our way. Oh my! Ava almost jumps away from Brett, but he doesn't let her get far. How long have you been there? We didn't hear you come in. Apparently we are super stealthy now. Dakota laughs, making his way into the room completely. Is this what you wanted to talk to us about? He gestures back and forth between them. 'Cause you made Smalls nervous, and you have been avoiding us for a while. How long have you known? Oliver asks, and I can't read his expression. Brett takes a deep breath but doesn't try to deny anything or placate us like children. He just jumps right in. The pull has been gradually increasing since you marked Skylar. The full bond kicked in the other night, I assume, when you finished mating. Brett answers, looking at each of them, probably trying to figure out which one is his son. Ava smiles. I guess it's fitting, seeing how this turned out for you boys. I can't get over the changes in you three, or the fact that I can't tell you apart. I have never had to try so hard to figure out who is who. The only time I really struggled was when Cam and Coda were trying to be difficult. She gives them a distinct mom look. Now even your natural voices and movements are the same. I look behind me at my mates. I can still tell each of them apart. They aren't identical to me, but the twins never were, so I guess I'm not a good gauge for their transformation. Come in and eat with us. Brett gestures towards the table laid out. It might be the only time we can sit as a family. I don't think the Rogue King is going to leave us alone for much longer, especially after Sky blasted a hole in Mike. Any alpha would have felt a pack member die. As his father, the pain should have been more severe, but we also don't know the state of his mind after talking with Nicholas and Osiston. Is he still here? I haven't seen Osiston in so long. Him and Alpha Reggie were my crazy uncles, pushing me to be better and get stronger, while still watching my back. They made sure I became my absolute best. They weren't worried about me getting hurt. Then again, they saw me at my most broken and weakest. I could only go up from being the unconscious form in a hospital bed. No. He seems to be the only one that can go between our pack and the royal pack right now. We have sent scouts out and they can cross out of the border, but when they hit an invisible perimeter, they get, I guess sick is the right word. We don't really know. There isn't anything that we can tell that would cause the reactions, but it has hospitalized several of our scouts for days. Gentry and Elena say it isn't magic placed on them, but that doesn't mean that magic isn't being used. Naturally, they wanted to go to the site to examine for themselves, and as expected, Nicholas and Daniel both said no. We don't know what is being planned, but we have to assume that they will attack the two witches working with us and our alphas. You six are our priority because you will be needed when they do finally attack. So you are confined to the pack grounds until further notice. Not even going as far as the pentagram sites. He gives us a stern dad look. A growl rips through the room and Ava cowers into Brett. It took me a second to realize the growl came from me and my eyes went wide as I slapped my hand over my mouth. Sam let us know we obviously haven't gotten around to telling our uncontainable mate. Cam jokes and I scowl at him. That would have been good information to know before now, Cameron. You were busy having girl time with your beta, gamma, and delta. We figured you deserved a couple hours of normal since we seem to be living our whole lives reacting to shot hitting the fan. Can you fault us for wanting to see you smile, Tiny? His eyes softened, and that was all it took for me to melt and the anger to go away completely. I leaned my forehead into his shoulder and took a deep breath. The citrus is strongest with honey and cinnamon notes behind it. At least, I'm not confined alone this time. I should probably work with Elena and Gentry and try to see if any new magical abilities showed up while I was locked in a coma for 2 days. We should see if anything transferred to you guys too. I mean, Oliver was able to help with a few things before. I wonder if you have some extra magical abilities now. I look over my shoulder at him. We should probably test the elemental stuff too. I don't really understand what to do with that. Oliver squeezes my knee under the table. We'll figure it out. Don't worry, Biddy. At least I know who is who based on the nicknames they use. Ava laughs. So are we just going to skip over the whole you are second chance mates thing or what? Dakota leans forward, but there's a smile on his face. Ava blushes, and it is adorable. She leans into Brett's shoulder, and it looks like they might be holding hands under the table. We weren't glossing it over, because it really is a big deal and important to us, but since none of you seemed particularly fazed by it, we didn't want to push the idea. Not everyone gets a second chance mate, and to be honest, we weren't sure how you boys would take it, since it really hasn't been that long since we lost your father. We wanted to be respectful of your feelings, and we know that your own mate situation has been a priority too. We didn't want to overshadow our new alphas, but we are truly happy. And Brett smiles down at her, and I realize for the first time that I don't think I have ever seen him look like that before. His mate died in a small attack when we were all really little. I only know that much of the story, but she was a force, apparently. I don't know if Oliver even remembers her. But it has always just been Brett and Oliver as the Gammas as long as I can remember. Now that I see him like this, happy and content, it makes me a little sad to know that he raised Oliver alone. Then another wave of sadness washes over me because he raised Oliver. He somehow managed to put losing his mate to the side to be there for his pup and do his duty as Gamma. He was always pleasant to all of us, and even helped Kyle train me on some occasion was little, and left to myself. That little voice in my head pipes up mentioning that my dad couldn't figure that out, but Brett did. I'm once again pulled from my thoughts, this time literally pulled into Oliver's lap. Don't do that, baby. Our dads are different people and our situations were different. Don't compare them. You are just starting to build a relationship with your dad. He needs a chance to explain himself. I bury my face in the crook of his neck and take a deep breath in. I know the other two were listening, and I'm sure the exchange didn't go unnoticed, but neither Ava or Brett say anything about my mood shift. So if we are confined to the center of the pack, what good are we? Dakota shifts the topic, thankfully. We were all actually interested in testing your abilities now that you are fully mated. Usually the full moon plays a part in gaining abilities, but clearly you have all changed some just in the last 48 hours. I know Gentry and Elena had plans to test your magic as well. There will be plenty for you to do. Don't feel like you are being sidelined. Brett tries to placate us, probably more me, since the guys were aware of the protection situation before me. It feels wrong to not be a part of patrols, though. What if something happens and we are miles from the fight? Dakota asks. Welcome to the fragile and needs to be protected box. I'm so glad you can all feel the bullshit of the situation now. I laugh at them and Ava winks at me. She has always been a big supporter of me, giving all of the guys a hard time. Osistan will be our go-between right now, since he is capable. I'm sure that Alpha Reggie and even Xander could make it through whatever barrier is up, which logically means that Skylar and even Mateo should be able to as well, since they are blood-related. But we are not testing that theory. He points right at me before I can even get excited about the idea. We know it's you the Rogue King wants. We are not handing you over on a silver platter just to test a theory. But let's be honest, you will probably have to go against him at some point. Low, rumbling growls surround me. And that is something everyone in this room needs to come to terms with. It won't be our first move, though, so I'm okay with missing out if it keeps Biddy away from that cocksucker as long as possible. Oliver wraps his arms around me tighter. I lean into him, letting him comfort me as much as I am him, and then move back to my seat so we can actually eat. The rest of dinner is pretty mundane. My wolf and I are trying to wrap our heads around the idea that these are now family members, in-laws. We will do things like this all of the time for celebrations, anniversaries, birthdays, holidays, and eventually with our pups. Oh, fuck, I cannot be thinking about pups right now, and I need to turn this panic off before someone notices and asks. My mates are too observant on a normal day. Now they are super attuned to me emotionally. They either didn't notice the brief moment of panic or decided it wasn't worth mentioning. I lost track of time being with them, but it was completely dark when we headed back to the pack house. So our parents find out they are second chance mates, right around the time we all figure out we are mates. I wonder if they knew before we did. Like, were we brothers before the goddess confirmed all three of us were Sky's mates? Dakota muses as we walk up the front steps. No idea, but maybe that was part of the plan. At this point, I've stopped trying to keep up with what the goddess has going on. It's about time. Lil comes running at us. You had a visitor and Sierra is super pissed. Huh? Who the hell would visit, especially now? I ask as we move through the house towards the back door. I'm not surprised to find everyone around the fire pit. Fucking Olympia, that's who. Sierra growls from her seat on the opposite side of the fire. Why in the hell would she come here of all places? I wonder out loud, moving towards the long bench I know my guys typically occupy. I just wait for them to get situated and decide whose lap I'm going to sit in. I've given up trying to sit in my own seat out here. Hold the phone, who's Olympia? Mateo asks. This butch who gave Sky and Mina a hard time when they would visit Xander and Alpha Reggie at the castle. She wasn't the worst, though. Charlene wanted to rip my eyeballs out, but that was more because I told her off and embarrasses her in public. None of that information tells us why she would come here, though. It sounds like she would want to avoid or ignore you, not be friendly. Mateo's not wrong. I have no idea what she would want. But she wasn't the one actively plotting against Mina and I, so maybe she decided I'm a better person to be on good terms with, since I am friends with the future king and queen. You might be right about that, Lil says. I only had to put up with her briefly, but she was a spoiled pain in the ass. Her dad was the one you had to watch for. He's an elder in his pack and one of the more sneaky ones. Yeah, her dad was not happy about me attending meetings with Alpha Reggie, Luna Ann, and Xander, or that I was allowed to help with protection plans and strategies. And his Alpha was kind of an idiot. That was one of the more fun conversations I had during the conference. From what I understand, you were the first person to shut that Alpha up during a planning session, ever. Lil laughs. That's because he's stupid, and I said as much without saying the actual words. We helped his pack while providing assistance to the surrounding packs that actually got attacked that year. Kyle and I worked with them on a defense strategy that he never implemented, and then he wanted more help in the form of Royal Pack warriors doing patrols around his pack. I think he just assumed no one knew about our pack's involvement in that situation and no one would question his needs. Wait, which Alpha is that? And when did you help Kyle with pack assistance? Dakota asks from behind me, squeezing my hip, teasing me for yet another thing they don't really know about me. I helped Brett and Kyle forever ago. It was the first time I was allowed off of pack grounds to do anything warrior-related. We really didn't do a whole lot, but helped with patrols while their warriors healed and helped with some extra training and strategies to be more efficient. Alpha Breck thought that he should have gotten help too, even though his pack wasn't attacked at all. His is one of the packs bordered by the sea on one side and surrounded by the 3 packs that did actually suffer from attacks. He claimed that they were in more danger because of the ocean access. We gave him strategies and even drew up watchtower plans that, at the time of the conference, he still hadn't constructed. He just wanted Royal Pack warriors to patrol. I shrugged because I still don't understand his logic. You putting an alpha in his place doesn't tell us why one of their elders' daughters came to you here now. And how the hell did she know where to find you and get here? I thought Brett said no one but Assiston was getting in or out of whatever barrier, perimeter thing is keeping us isolated. Dakota keeps going with his questioning. Maybe it's only against our pack members getting out? Sam suggests. I mean, no one wants any of us to test the theory, and Assiston said that warriors are on standby, hidden not far from that location when we need them. But he doesn't want to come in and scare off whoever is out there right now, prolonging the eventual fight. Maybe she was able to just waltz in. He shrugs. Or maybe she's working with the Rogue King. Gina adds, I never got to meet her, but she was one of two that was pretty upset at how close you were to Xander. Right? I know one of them threatened you or something. All three of my mates barely contained their growls. Okay, threatened is kind of giving Charlene too much credit. She tried to attack me like a political princess, not a warrior. It was stupid, and I made sure she knew it too. Olympia's pack was one of the packs that Kyle and Brett helped after an attack. It had a ton of damage, the most if I remember right. But I think her and Charlene were probably at the Royal Pack or somewhere else out of harm's way, since I met almost everyone from the packs that were affected, and I didn't meet them until I was with Xander and Alpha Reggie for the conference. I don't know if she would work with the Rogue King of her own free will, but she did seem all right playing her dad's puppet willingly. Who knows? We are going to circle back to you helping with a pack relief effort and none of us knowing about it, Shorty. But where did Olympia go, since she obviously didn't get to see you? I look at Sierra and Gina, who sound like they were the ones who saw her, and raise my eyebrows. I wouldn't put it past either of them to welcome her in and then put her in a prisoner cell just for being bitchy to me one time. What? Do you think we would do anything to her before getting information? Sierra tries really hard to look offended. Yes, I very much think you would. I think sometimes you are more defensive of me than the guys are. I laugh as a chorus of haze comes from all sides of me. You know we would defend you, Smalls. That's not even a question. Dakota squeezes my ankle. I do know that, but the difference between guy friends and girlfriends is the level of petty my girlfriends will stoop to on my behalf. Hell yes. And no, we did not chain her up somewhere, but I do have a couple places in mind if she turns out to be one of the bad guys. I figured I shouldn't jump to conclusions since our allies are so few. Gina chimes in and we all laugh again, although I know she's serious. So where is she then? I raise my eyebrow at them. I know she isn't in a comfortable place if she's here somewhere. She's in one of the border houses, under guard, locked in a bedroom. She is comfortable and we made sure she was fed, but she wouldn't talk to anyone but you and seemed perfectly content to be contained until you came to her. So she is either here to spy, or she doesn't mind a night of protection from whatever is out there, even if she is locked up. Gina finally tells me. And you are not going to see her tonight. You just got your mates, and you are going to just sit here for once and hang out. She will be there in the morning, and if anything happens, the guards will let us know. The shower was actually just a shower, and I don't know if I was more happy or disappointed about that. They each took their turn washing every single inch of me, and I love this side of them, the side just for me. Cam wrapped me in a towel and then led me out into the room. Dakota and Oliver came out before us and had the comforter pulled back and ready for all of us, and a t-shirt was laying out for me. Only a t-shirt. I guess I should have expected this once we mated. I will probably wear very little clothing when we are up here. I climb in between Cam and Oliver, leaning over Cam to kiss Dakota goodnight before doing the same to him. Then I turn around to kiss Oliver as Cam pulls my back into his chest. I fell asleep almost instantly. I woke up before the guys for the first time in forever. This feels like old times. The faint light of dawn breaks through the large windows. As Oliver so eloquently explained, I flopped over the guys and ended up in Dakota's arms on the complete opposite side of the bed. The benefit of this is that Dakota seems to be hoarding me, and I am on the outside instead of being sandwiched between two of them. I wiggle out as slowly as I can, handle my bathroom business, and head straight to the cozy seats in the library area. I don't even remember the last time I just sat down and read a book for fun, and I guess now is as good a time as any since we can't go anywhere beyond the training grounds. I would love to run a patrol and really get a feel for what my senses and powers can do now that I am mated. I figured out yesterday that I am faster, but how much faster? I have always been strong for my size, but I want to be able to measure it. And the magic, I need to test what my magic is like now that I am different, both physically and emotionally. I am too wound up to really focus on anything specific. I tried a romance novel, but it was a slow start, and it doesn't match my mood. I found a murder mystery, but it wasn't what my brains wanted. As I was putting that back on the shelf, I noticed an old green leather-bound book. There is no title on the spine, but it has been loved. The leather is soft to the touch, and from what I can see of the edges, the pages are yellowed in places. There is a brown leather strap marking a page, so I take it to the chair I have been occupying and start there. I get a feeling with this book as I open it. I can feel the magic coming off of it, like my grimoire. I wonder if that is what this is, someone's grimoire, maybe Lucas's. I wonder if he would have had one to follow through with Adrielle's spells or whatever she had him doing. The thought makes me cringe and want to close the book and throw it across the room. But my curiosity gets the better of me, and I have to remind myself that magic is not bad or good. It's the caster and the intention behind the spells. I am careful not to read any words out loud or even move my lips to sound out unfamiliar words. I don't want to unintentionally cast a spell that I might not have control over. I only get through a couple pages when a warm hand glides over my shoulder and a kiss is planted on the top of my head. "Good morning, Biddy. Why didn't you wake us up?" I love all their gravelly morning voices, but Oliver's deep tone sends shivers down to my toes. I have to fight the need to visibly shiver. "You all are so cute when you sleep, and I didn't want to disturb you if you all were taking shifts watching me the other night. I'm sure your bodies are changing too, and you probably need the rest. Let's go get breakfast started. Cam and Coda should be out of the shower quickly. It was just to wake up." "You three shower an awful lot, you know that?" "Well, it is the second best way to wake up in the morning. What's the first best way?" I ask, sitting on the stool at the island. Oliver slides me a cutting board and veggies to chop up for omelets. Getting our little mate dirty and sweaty with some naked cardio and then needing another shower. He winks at me and I giggle. "So is someone going to bring Olympia here to talk with me? Are we meeting her at whatever house she's being held at? What's happening today?" We've only been on house arrest for long enough to sleep, and I am already antsy at the idea of being stuck here, although I like your cardio idea. We are going to meet her halfway. Brett and Kyle said around 10. I think they were being generous with their time, just in case we had trouble leaving the suite. Cam walks up behind me and kisses the back of my head, then moving to the stove to start working on breakfast that Oliver and I started prepping. Dakota wraps his arms around my shoulders and hugs me tight, like he can't get enough of this position. "Do you want to train today after we talk to her and see what we can all do? 'Cause I don't know about you, but I am dying to know if any of us are faster than you. I also really want to watch you destroy Sam." They all laugh at that and I try to hold it back, but I have to join in. We eat and get ready in workout clothes, not planning to come back to the pack house after we talk to Olympia. When we finally make it outside as expected, our whole team is there, and I never really grasped how big it is until now. We have 4 alphas, 2 betas, 2 deltas, and 1 gamma, but I'm sure Lil will find her mate and round out the number. I also have Wyatt and Nathaniel, who will always be a part of my team. We have been through too much at this point. We head out to meet with Olympia and find out what she has to say. I haven't decided if she is the type of person to carry a verbal message or threat for her dad, or if shot really hit the fan, and we are closer to her pack than the royal pack. I had to beg to get them to let us shift, though. My wolf wants out. She has been itching to run since we marked and mated, and we just haven't had the chance. Shifting was completely painless and almost instantaneous. I've never felt anything like it in my life. No bones cracking and popping, no discomfort, and it happened in the blink of an eye. I thought I was fast before, but this is a whole other level. When I turn around, I notice my guys have shifted just as silently as I did. Well, that will come in handy. Dakota laughs in my head. Do we look different, Smalls? Am I bigger, sexier? You can tell me. Cam and Oliver won't be too jealous. You're an idiot, but yes, you are bigger. You are dark gray all over, and you have new markings. Actually, I look at all of them now. Really look at them. Oh, shut! They're identical! Lil hums at all of us. Through the link? What do you mean, identical? Oliver asks, his wolf's head swiveling side to side. She means you look exactly the same. All three of you. Sierra trots over to us. It was weird having you three look the same in your human form, but you were all pretty close to begin with, so it wasn't a stretch of the imagination. But we could even tell the twins apart in their wolf forms because they were inverted colors. You all seem to have blended your versions of gray. But Sky's right. What are those markings? Mateo's wolf circles them, checking them out from all the different angles. Their fur is an ombre of gray, light near the skin and getting darker at the tips. Each of them has a black-tipped tail and thick black markings at their shoulders going down their forelegs, similar to the tattoos they all now share. I don't think Oliver's tattoos were ever visible in his wolf form before, though. I can't help but notice the size increase, too. They were all big before. Cam and Coda were more than a head taller than me, making me look like a pup next to them, and Oliver was wider set like the protector that he was made to be. Now all three have combined sized features. I know I have grown a little with the magic and enhancements that come with mating, but I am still dwarfed by the three of them. Just another thing to add to the long-ass list we have going about being mated to the princess. Dakota jumps back before my wolf can snap at him with her jaw. We have gotten faster. Let's get this stupid interview over with so we can actually test some of this shutout. I'm done trying to guess what we can do and being surprised in the moment when weird things happen. I don't really want to talk to Olympia. I agree this is more than likely some kind of trap or test, but I can't ignore a possible ally or a request for help. All right, here's the plan. Brett and Kyle walk up to us in their wolf forms. Clearly, this is a party no one wants to miss. They go through what is expected of all of us and explain that as newly mated alphas, we are still vulnerable until the full moon. I'm reminded, again, how much I despise all the rituals that go along with transitioning ranked members. Why can't mates just mark and mate and that's that? Why all the hoops and red tape? Something else to ask the moon goddess when and if I ever get the chance. We finally get on our way and nothing eventful happens, and I think some of the warriors that have the wide perimeter around us were really hoping for some action. Everyone is actually getting bored waiting around for this damn fight. We know it's coming, and we know they are coming for me, but getting rid of the Cunninghams and Mike seemed almost too easy. I figured they would be disposable to a degree to the Rogue King, but there was no retaliation, no threat after their deaths. Complete radio silence, and that doesn't track with the way that wolves work. Real pack wolves, I should say. When we finally see the group surrounding Olympia, I am actually relieved. I need something to do, someone to ask questions, and right now she is my target. I shift quickly and move right into walking towards her without a missed step. My mates are on my tail, flanking me in their new diamond pattern. The rest of our team stays in wolf form, ready to tear her apart if she so much as looks at me wrong. What they don't know is they'll never get a chance. If she comes for me, she's mine to take out. What can I do for you, Olympia? I ask as diplomatically as possible. I won't pretend to be nice, but I'm not going to be outwardly mean to her for no reason. My dad is dead, and I don't know where Alpha Sharp is. He might be dead, too. The Luna is no true leader, and neither are her daughters, even though they have at least 50% alpha blood. My pack is falling apart slowly with no real guidance. There has been a ton of movement around our borders, but no one has crossed directly through. They are headed your way. I know my dad and Elder Chandler weren't super happy with your involvement with the Alpha King and his family. I thought you should know. She's twisting her hands together. She's nervous. She's never had to ask for help before, and I'm going to let her figure it out. How did you get through the barrier surrounding our pack? I ask, not giving any details. I need to know if she knows about us being basically locked in. I was given this pendant and told it would help me pass through any barrier protection that packs might have around their borders. She pulls a long silver chain from under her shirt. It is completely unremarkable, so one would ever think to check something so plain for magic. It's genius. Who gave it to you and when? Cam asks from over my left shoulder. She doesn't shift her focus from me. I've had it for a couple years now. Daddy told me to never take it off, and I just never really thought about it. Why are you here now? Oliver asks from my right. Again, not looking away from me, she answers the question. Skylar knows our pack lands in the Border Patrol schedule. She set it up. My pack has been neglected long enough that it is starting to be noticed. I'm not an alpha, but I guess I am the closest thing to a leader that our pack has right now, and I want to help the innocent people. I don't know what's going on, but I do know that Alpha Breck and Alpha Sharp were up to something, and if it has something to do with them siding with the Rogue King, I don't want to be a part of it. I don't know what's going on, but I think my pack needs help, and we have a never-ending supply of wolves I don't recognize, traveling just outside our borders but making no effort to contact us or connect with us. What can I do to help my pack? First, I really don't have anyone to spare to help you. And if the rogues aren't bothering your pack members, you should be fine for now. She looks disappointed, but that's all we have right now. If you are nervous for them, move them to a central location in your pack, as far from where the rogues are traveling. And whatever you do, keep any non-warriors away from the border closest to ours. We know the Rogue King is coming, and he doesn't care about innocent bystanders. As far from our pack as possible is going to be your safest bet for now. Can you offer up any information? Do you know anything else about what your alpha might have been up to, and if we need to be on the lookout for another attack other than the Rogue King? Ducat asks from behind me. She's nervous now, I can see it, but also smell it on her. It's rolling off in waves, her skin is visibly getting clammy. How is it possible I can see clammy skin? Olympia, what aren't you telling us? I ask slowly, watching for her physical reaction more than I am listening to her answer. Something is happening. Everyone be on your guard. Patrols take a second look at your surroundings and report back. I link out to everyone. No one from my team moves or looks like anything has changed thanks to their extensive training, but they are ready for a signal from me to engage. I just want my pack to be safe. They are being tortured left and right, and now it will stop. She doesn't look at anyone, but has enough pride to not look down at the ground. She thinks she is doing what is best, even if it is misguided and setting my pack up for harm. She took someone's word at face value. No one will leave her pack alone. Alphas, north side of the pack, they are coming across the water about 2 miles north of the main entrance. I think she was supposed to stall longer. They aren't even halfway across. One of our warriors reports. I link my mates and my team. She's either really bad at this, or she knew that she could fulfill whatever order she was given and allow us time to prepare to fight by making us suspicious. She doesn't want to be a part of this. How many are crossing, and is there any other sign of attack? Cam asks our warriors. About 50, all in wolf form from what I can see at my vantage point, alphas. Nothing from the main entrance, alphas. Extra help has joined us, though. We are doubling patrols. Another warrior reports. Southern edge is clear, but we are downwind and the air is stale and without any sense at all, not even the forest. More than likely that same damn spell with a second wave of rogues waiting for a signal to attack. I love that our warriors take nothing for granted. They take every experience and make it a learning lesson. We agree. Northern border, take out whoever you can as they come across. The waters are shallow there. Use it to your advantage. No prisoners. We don't know what kind of magic or manipulation is being used, And we have already found out that many of them will die because of the spell cast on them anyway. Oliver doesn't even converse with us to give the order. It's like we can see in each other's minds. I wonder if we will ever disagree on anything, like he read my thoughts. We will disagree on plenty, love. Like, for starters, if you even hint at separating from us, I will lock your ass in the bunker so fast, you won't be able to use any magic against me. And as much as we don't want you in the fight, we won't stand in your way, but we won't stand by and let you get hurt either. Sweetness, get over it now, mate. The only people in our pack are warriors who can fight for themselves, so you are our priority. Don't get so lost in the fight that you lose sight of us. I know we can link from probably any distance, but I want to be able to see you. Oliver jumps in before I can protest Dakota's demands. You do know that you are all targets now, because you are mated to me, right? They all hum in agreement. And that they will probably try to kill you three to get to me. But no one will hurt me, not here. The Rogue King wants me alive. It would be better if...
No! No!
They all shout in unison, making me flinch. I was not kidding about the bunker, Tiny, and Nathaniel and Wyatt have already volunteered to keep guard, and for good measure, Mateo and Sam would probably add Sierra and Gina with you. Before I can let my anger flare back, another report comes in. Alphas. More wolves have started crossing the borders. We are engaging, but could use backup. My anger subsides as my training kicks in. I look around, assessing who's with me and the information I have. Mateo, Gina, Sam, and Sierra. Take a team to the northern border and assist them. The attack has doubled. I look at my mates. I want to go to the southern border, where there is no scent. I think our skills are better suited there. They nod at me. Wyatt, stick to the main entrance. I want to know what's going on there. Nathaniel, do what you can to get me eyes in the sky. I want to know what's going on, but stick with Wyatt as backup. Yes, ma'am. They both reply and then turn to get to work. Lil, I want you with me. Something tells me I'm going to need my feral gamma. She laughs and rolls her eyes. I'm going to need that story sometime, Tiny. Cam whispers in my ear, giving me chills. Oliver divides the rest of the group with us, and Brett takes Olympia back to the house she was being held in. We are assuming that she is being tracked somehow, and don't want her any further into the pack lands than necessary. Then we all move out. Northern border, give us an update. Still fighting, they are better than average wolves, but not super fast, and none of them seem to have a personality, if that makes sense. They are mindless and just keep coming out of the woods like ants. Help is on the way. We move swiftly without wasting any energy on speed. I have a feeling we are going to need it. As we moved, I took in the sights and scents. I can tell exactly the moment we cross into the area being blocked. It's like I got a sinus infection and lost all scent. I can't even smell the guys right next to me. I can hear noises, though, so I know we are getting close to our team here. We all lower ourselves to the ground and belly crawl towards them just to make sure. I can't trust my senses completely now. I don't know how or why the magic affects me this way, but I get some things and not others. Oh, shit! How are you doing that? Lil basically scolds me. Doing what? Unless you are moving, I can't see you, that's what. Huh? Your fur turned the same color as the forest around you, that's what. She's right, babe. You blend in completely. Oliver scoots closer to me as we slow down to get a better feel for the area. I look at him and I can still see him, but there is a shimmer to his fur. Not like glitter or metal, but a shift in the colors of his fur to match the surrounding area directly behind him. I keep turning my head and notice Cam and Dakota are the same, then look down at myself and I can see the fur. But as I move or the breeze blows, the colors change to match what's behind it. All three of you are the same. How are we doing this? Part of your magic, I guess. We're about to find out how well it works. You were right, though. Oliver bumps my shoulder. You're going to have to be more specific. What am I right about this time, Oliver? His wolf gives me a lopsided grin, which is adorable. It would have been nice to test our basic abilities before we get caught up in a fight, smartass. It is kind of annoying to come into this knowing we have enhanced abilities in magic, but have no idea what those abilities are or how to use them. This has been my whole life since Alpha Reggie told me about my connection to the royal family. No one knew what that connection meant for me and what I would be able to do, and now I have 3 mates, some type of prophecy surrounding me and the Rogue King, magic coming out of every orifice I have, not to mention being somewhat of a freak show before all of that. Well, we love you, freak show, always have. Now tell us what your spidey senses are telling you. 'Cause I can't smell a thing out here anymore, except the 3 of you, and it sounds like the forest kind of turned off. Dakota comes up on my other side. Me too. Both Cam and Oliver say in the crazy twin speak. That's interesting. I can't smell anything, but I can still hear really well. Like, I can hear the conversations of our warriors about 2 more miles out. Don't ask me how I know that distance. I laugh as I try to explain myself. We keep moving cautiously towards our warriors, looking around at everything, trying to notice anything out of place or just off. We made it to their camp without any incident, though. I say camp loosely. We don't have homes on this part of our packlands, so there hasn't been anywhere for our warriors to stay while they run patrols here. So several tents, like the big ones we used for my trials, have been set up to shelter them. They are more sturdy than camping tents and can be set up and broken down in record time. Lil and I shift ahead of the guys and just start walking into the group of warriors, not really thinking about the fact that it is still unusual to many of them that we can shift with our clothes still intact. I still wish we had that particular skill, Dakota grumbles behind me. Being naked after shifting has never bothered you before. What's your issue with it now? I ask, smiling back at him. I have a mate now, sweetness, and all of this manliness is just for you now. No one else gets to see it. Lil will get you all clothes. Just shift behind me. You'll be fine for now. I don't think anyone really cares when we have bigger problems to worry about. I roll my eyes at his dramatics. I'm sure everyone here has seen his junk in full swing, and I don't even want to know how many of the females here have experienced him. A shudder runs through me at the brief thought. Lil, can you go round up some shorts? Apparently Dakota is being weird about shifting and being naked right now. She gives me a look, and I can only shrug, then she takes off. She's never really seen them outside our group of friends, with everything going on, and they have never been shy before. Biddy, you do realize that even though you are a tad bit bigger, you would barely cover one of our thighs, right? None of us want to shift out here. It's almost like we can't. How would that work in a fight, then? This is so stupid. Just shift. Don't make this any more weird. I'm looking at each one of them, and even in their wolf form, they look ashamed almost. I put my hands on my hips. Cam, seriously, just shift, please. We have things to do. I don't know why this is such a big deal. His wolf nods his head at me, and I can see the telltale signs of his body beginning to shift, but it looks more painful than normal, and not nearly as fast as when they shifted to their wolves earlier. It's almost like he's fighting himself. Eventually he shimmers and his bones stop cracking as his body settles in front of me. Holy fuck! He's fully clothed, but even bigger than before. And somehow hotter than an hour ago. His height didn't change, thank the goddess, but he's filled out more. His clothes look like they are 2 sizes too small. He went from being an 18-year-old boy to a man right in front of my eyes. His muscles are more defined, his jaw is filled out and sharper all at the same time. Everything seems to have matured on him in the span of a shift. That shift sucked. What the hell happened? Cam rubs his face and looks at me. Why do you seem small again, Tiny? I'm not smaller, but I don't think I can explain this one. At least you have your clothes, but I don't think they will last if you move around too much. I smile up at him and his inquisitive look. Just trust me. You'll see when these other boneheads get moving. I look at Dakota and Oliver with my best glare. They start to shift, and it looks just as awkward and painful as Cam's. I look like I tried to put on some little kid's clothes. Like Dakota laughs. Damn, we look good. He smiles at the other 2 and starts to flex. I just roll my eyes. Your ego didn't need the inflations. I laugh at him. I'll show you ego, little mate. He scooped me up so my legs were wrapped around his waist and kissed me deeply. I almost got lost in it and forgot where we were until someone clears their throat. Your feral gamma found shorts that might actually fit the alpha males that can't seem to stop growing. I don't know what happened to you, Midge, but for some reason, you're not allowed to grow. She laughs at me, and we all join in. Ah, it's about time the alphas showed up. You know, it doesn't look very good for your pack's safety if you don't arrive at a threat in a timely manner. People could get seriously hurt due to your lack of initiative and response. Alpha Breck, I would hardly call you a threat. I step forward. I was talking to your alpha's child. Do not interrupt. You aren't here under the arm of the Alpha King. Things work differently out here in the real world. Oliver growls in his chest behind me. I reach back and grab his hand to calm him down. He's trying to goad us. Stay calm and talk very little. He likes to have control by riling people up and getting them to react. He can't fight well, and his warriors are poorly trained. I told all 3 of my mates. Oliver squeezes my fingertips, letting me know he understands. What do you want, Alpha Breck? We are clearly not available to entertain. Cam asks. He's always been the better peacekeeper. It used to make me angry when he would do it to placate Kaylee and Kevin, but I can see how having a level head and appearing indifferent will come in handy. Breck shifts his focus, and I can see the wheels turning in his head as he takes in the 3 massive guys behind me. They are clearly making a statement in their usual positions around me, but he seems confused. Charlene, I believe you said the new alphas of Blue Crescent were twins, not triplets. That is a detail I would have remembered. It's not common. He looks over at his shoulder, and I see her step out of the shadows of their warriors to take her place, not at his side, but just behind his right shoulder. I have to smile at the idea that she wants power, but at the same time will take a back seat to an overbearing alpha with a superiority complex. That is the information the little blonde mouse gave me when we spoke last. She did say that they had a less than worthy mate. I can see she was at least half right. Charlene smiles at me, but it doesn't reach her eyes. I think she's trying to intimidate me, but she just looks like she's in pain. I roll my eyes in response. Well, either way, I am here to offer my daughter as your chosen mate to ally our packs during this time of distress. Us neighboring packs must stick together, and an alliance like ours would be most advantageous. Yeah, for him. Moron. I bet he still hasn't done the improvements we asked about when I first went to warrior training 2 years ago. He wants protection and status without any work on his part. He's lazy and self-righteous. From what I have seen, Charlene is the same. He couldn't even explain the patrol strategy that I helped Kyle set up when I was 13 to Alpha Reggie when he was asked about it. I tell our whole team, don't underestimate him though, he's vindictive. We have our mate and are very happy with the choice the goddess made, and trying to infiltrate our pack is not the best way to form an alliance, wouldn't you agree? Cam asks. How are your patrols and border protections? Dakota asks with a knowing smile. Alpha Breck's eyes fly to me and back to them. Our patrols have always been superb, Alpha. He doesn't know who is who, even if he knew the twins' names in the first place. Now there are 3 of them, and I'm sure he couldn't be bothered to figure out the Gamma's son's name. He wouldn't think it necessary. Gammas are servants to him, and nothing more. None of my guys answer him. He doesn't deserve to learn their names. I can see Charlene taking a mental inventory of the people around us. I know that several of our warriors are still out patrolling. I haven't heard from them, so I am hoping everything is all right, but every warrior that was here at camp has stopped to watch the conversation. I'm not sure if Alpha Breck has caught on, but they are all in a strategic position. Our little tent city is 2 rows running perpendicular to the forest, and Breck made his entrance at one end, very dramatically. Each tent has at least 2 of our warriors standing in it as we all talk near the center of the row. Each of them can have his group surrounded in a blink if needed. I need a status update from the area surrounding the camp. Does Alpha Breck have any more warriors hiding out? You probably won't be able to scent them. You're going to need to get a visual confirmation. All the patrol warriors let me know they heard me, and we get a running check-in as they scour the area surrounding us. Daddy, I'm sure the alphas would be more comfortable if we sat down and negotiated with some refreshments. I know alliance treaties can take such a long time to make sure everyone gets what they want. She places her hand on his shoulder. Where are your alpha quarters? I'm sure Skylar could get something whipped up for her alphas in no time. I would love a chance to get to know you all better. Miss Cunningham said that you are all very handsome, but I don't think her description did any of you justice. She walks over and links her arm with Cam's. It's all I can do to hold still. I can't risk anyone getting hurt because she's flirting with him. She's not wrong. They are hot, and I'm sure other women will flirt, so I am going to have to figure out how to handle jealousy without starting a fight, at least initially. That sounds like a great idea, my dear. See, alphas, she's already taking to her Luna duties, caring for the alphas that are important to her. It's just a natural instinct. I roll my eyes. No. No. You refuse to serve your alphas, your superiors? How dare you? You are just a beta warrior. You are lucky they are letting you stand in front of them, let alone anywhere near them. Breck snarls at me, letting his nice neighbor act slip. You are not worthy of being their Luna. Step aside and let the superior ranks handle things. You do know that she isn't our Luna, right? Oliver states, and Breck's eyes light up like his birthday came early. Charlene giggles next to Cam as he tries to pull his arm from hers, looking horrified. Serves him right for always being placating. He was the same way with Kaylee, and he couldn't seem to get rid of her either. I take a deep breath. I can deal with her groping his arm, for now. I was not aware you had not taken her as your Luna. Even better, less mess when you take your chosen Luna. You misunderstood him, Alpha Breck. He said she's not our Luna, not that we didn't claim our mate. In fact, she claimed us as an alpha of this pack. Dakota says, Are all three of you exactly the same everywhere? How does anyone tell you apart? Charlene is trying to coo in Cam's ear, and I can feel my heart rate rising. She needs to step away from him. That's absurd. No female is an alpha. Breck scoffs. We actually now know two, so again you are incorrect. With your levels of misinformation, I don't think an alliance would be the right move for our pack. We value all our members equally, not just the ranked members. Each pack member brings something to the pack and contributes. Cam finally extricates his arm from Charlene. Oh, that is so wonderful how you care for everyone. I can't wait to be your Luna. She looks at Cam like she might jump on him again, but moves for Oliver behind me instead. He pushes her away. I can hear the scuffle. I want to turn around, but my instinct tells me that Breck is the bigger threat, and I don't want to turn my back to him. Dakota grabs her by the shoulders and holds her out in front of him. We don't want a Luna. Do neither of you listen? We have our alpha mate, our female alpha. Now we have other matters to handle within our pack. Please see yourselves out the way you came in. Dakota shoves her enough that she moves a few feet back from him. But I am prepared to bear your pups. That little thing probably couldn't carry pups as big and strong as yours will be. She flicks her fingers at me and my wolf growls. I don't even mind being shared. I would let you claim me right here, if that's what you wanted. I bet with three of you, someone is always watching. She smiles a little maniacally as she starts to pull up the skirt of her dress like she would bend over for them here, even in front of her dad. That's when I lose it. This butch has gone too far. She can stupidly flirt while insulting me. I could give two shots about it. I know they don't want her, but now she is disrespecting everything that being a mate stands for. The intimacy that goes with being a mate is not shared with other people, and she is trying to literally offer up her pussy to them in front of me and everyone here. I lunge and send her flying into one of the tents, making it collapse completely on her. I don't share. Go find your own goddess-given mate, and quit trying to take mates that don't belong to you. I snarl out at the pile of canvas she's wrapped up in, and let my alpha aura out for good measure. Breck looks at me, astonished and angry. You attacked a ranked member of my pack. Now it is war you will get. He lunges at me, and all hell breaks loose in the camp. I hear as all the wolves around me engage, but I only have eyes for this weak-ass alpha in front of me. He misses as I easily step aside and let his over-enthusiastic lunge send him flying right on past. He turns, but it's like everything is in slow motion for me. I can see him take a breath and decide where he's going to attack me next. "Why is everyone so slow?" Dakota asks. "I don't think they are slow. I think we are faster. It's kind of messing with my head, like in a dream where you can't force your body to move, but your brain is on hyperspeed and can see what's going to happen before it does, and there isn't anything you can do about it." Is he laughing? Well, our element powers work at our speed, that's for sure. Oliver says, launching a clod of dirt across the camp to hit an iron-toothed warrior in the back of the head as he goes for Lil. "I'm just impressed that we can have an analyzing conversation while in the middle of the fight. Are we keeping Breck and his daughter alive, love? You know them better than us. Would he have information we could use?" "I actually don't know them well at all. I only had a couple of interactions at the palace. That would be better suited for Osiston or Reggie." "What do you need, little one?" How did you know I needed to talk to you, Osiston?" "It's a gift. What do you need?" "Alpha Breck is here, trying to pawn his daughter on my mates. As you can imagine, it wasn't a well-received idea, and we need to know if we should keep them alive as prisoners or if anyone will miss them when they die." "No one will miss them, but take them as prisoners for now. I will come and collect them. Keep your link open. We will be there soon." Capture the warriors, and Alpha Breck and Charlene will be collected by Royal Pack members. I say to my warriors, "What if I already have a few who are less than conscious?" Lil laughs at me. "Nothing we can do about it now. If we have to keep them alive, can you just submit them all with your superpowers just in case there's another wave behind this one? Sometimes I forget I have extra powers, or I just like fighting. Maybe a little of both." I stop moving and see the smile that crosses Breck's face. He thinks he's winning or slowed me down. When in reality, I was able to have that full conversation while batting him away like a fly. I reach in for my wolf and let her help me with my aura. I still don't understand this most basic power that ranked pack members have, and it's the one I am the most familiar with. It pulses out of me like a ripple from a water droplet, and all of the fighters who are not a part of my pack drop to their knees, including Breck and Charlene. She managed to extricate herself from the tent, but was not fighting. I huff, just another girl who wanted a title, but had no idea there was actual work involved with being a Luna, and she would have to know how to defend herself and her pack with that title. Cam walked over to Breck. "If your daughter was a true Luna and if you were a true Alpha, you both would have been able to put up a fight from that submission. But I'm going to be honest, you would have still been submitted. I don't know anyone who has gone up against our female, Alpha, mate, and one, and I've seen our girl fight a lot of people, including the future Alpha King. You chose the wrong pack to challenge and didn't even bring a real fight." He picks the iron-toothed Alpha up by his shoulders and Frog marches him to where his daughter is unceremoniously dropped by Dakota. Oliver walks a little way from the trashed camp and starts moving his hands. I see dirt flying, but I don't understand what he's doing. I walk over and ask, too curious to leave it alone. "We don't have any cells out here, and I agree about keeping all of these people away from the center of the pack in case they are being tracked by the Rogue King. So I'm digging a trench to drop them in for the time being. That way you don't waste too much energy keeping them under your Alpha command. We need our girl ready to fight. This was just a test." I smiled up at him. I love it when they all call me their girl, and use all the crazy pet names I've been given over the years. I grab his shoulder and pull him down to me. With the latest growth spurt, I am back to being just taller than their elbows again. He looks at me a little surprised as I kiss him full on the lips in front of everyone. I guess I'm getting past being shy about public displays of affection. He stops what he's doing to wrap his arms around me and pick me up for better access. I laugh into his mouth. We keep it PG, but he kisses me several times before I pull away and ask if I can help him. He slides me down his body slowly. "I would never turn down the chance to spend some one-on-one time with you, baby." We get to work, and our combined effort makes digging out the trench only take about 20 minutes. We had to make it deep enough that they couldn't jump out and wide enough that they couldn't climb. We'll see how smart they are, though. This was actually a task Lil Gina and I had to figure out at training. It can be done, and without magic. But if these guys think anything like they're alpha, they don't think outside the box very well. All right, you got your moment. I want my good job kiss. Dakota whips me around and the other two laugh, while the rest of our warriors put silver collars or wrist cuffs on the captured warriors and toss them into the trench. Lil was more aggressive than necessary, but she seems to be enjoying herself, so I let it be. He walks us away from the crowd and basically devours my face. I have to press against his chest with a good amount of force to extract myself from him. Dakota, slow down. I can't help it. It is so hot watching you take charge and put all of these losers in their place. I really, really want to take you home right now, but I know we have work to do, so you are just going to have to give me enough to tide me over. I laugh and kiss him again, which he takes full advantage of, then hands me over to Cam. I never hit the ground. You really are impressive, love. We're never going to stop saying it. His kiss is just as hot, but not as demanding as Dakota's. We need to go check on the northern border and Wyatt and Nathaniel. Someone should... Don't even finish that sentence. We already told you we are not splitting up. Oliver puts his hand up to stop me as Cam's fingers tighten on my thighs. In any other normal situation, you are right. We should split up so someone can meet Osistan when he comes for Breck and Charlene, and check the 2 other locations. It would also help to keep an alpha aura on them, but this is not normal, and you are not going to be out of our sight of any of us outside of the pack house. Next topic. Well, that was final, and spoken like a true alpha. I wink at him as I jump down from Cam's arms. I guess you all are going to have to keep up. I take off, shifting mid-run. I really want to know how fast we are, my wolves. They're wolves. I can hear all the commotion in my head, but I can also turn the sound down. It's interesting. The fight is still going on the northern border, but it's not dire. It doesn't sound like they are actually trying to fight us, but if the point was to distract us for Alpha Breck and Charlene, then they should be done now. The fight is still going on, though. That doesn't make any sense. Nathaniel? Anything at the main entrance? Yes and no, boss. You are going to have to elaborate on that, Nathaniel. Not all of us are super geniuses that can read your mind. Cam chimes in. There are no wolves or any people here, but there has definitely been movement. Patterns show that someone or something has been moving in and out using the same path for a while now. I can't tell from the drones if it is surveillance or if they have been bringing things in or taking things out. I really need to get close and get a first-hand look. Absolutely not. We are not risking you for surveillance with flimsy information like that. I can't even imagine risking Nathaniel's life for something so stupid. He's become another brother to me. He doesn't need protection, something many of the elite warriors thought, since he is more quiet than any of them and really good with computers, so he tends to be Overwatch in a tent or vehicle playing home base. He is an amazing fighter and became our secret weapon on missions. We would use the stereotype to our advantage. Your alpha has spoken. Dakota laughs. I love how protective you are, Smalls. I just giggle. I have always been protective. That's probably one of the first things I recognized about myself. That is one thing I can thank Kaylee and her dad, and if I am being honest, my own dad, for during my youth and teen years. We continue to run. My wolf is making comments about how we move, but I'm not really listening. I am just feeling. Feeling the breeze in our fur, feeling the dirt under our paws. I don't even have to think. Our body just moves through the trees. We hit nothing, and don't have to make decisions on which way to move to dodge or jump obstacles. We can just feel the forest. It's almost like it is talking to us through our connection to the ground, and it feels wonderful. Warm and comforting, like a hug from Sierra when we first met. She didn't know me, but pulled me into her sphere of brightness, and I couldn't pull away, didn't want to pull away. We reached the northern border in less than 15 minutes. It would have been a 45-minute drive in the truck. That has to be a record. But what I see when we get there is mayhem. There are bodies everywhere, and it looks like the attacking wolves are just attacking no matter their state of injury. What the hell is going on? I don't care what my mates say, I take off aiming for a wolf that is trying to attack my brother from behind. My wolf clamps down on his hind leg and whips her head back. I can feel the leg break in her jaw just before she releases him, and we watch him fly 50 yards behind us. That should have been enough to put him out of commission for at least a day. But as we look back, we can see him stumble to stand on his 3 remaining good legs, the 4th bent at an unnatural angle. His eyes are red and his gaze is focused on us. This is a trap for us. Gina and I were supposed to see these wolves. They are possessed the same way the wolves holding us captive were. We didn't kill them when we escaped, just kept knocking them down long enough to get away. I think Tyler might have killed a couple, though. He thinks we won't kill them again. They are too deep into the spell. Their only way out is death, and you are going to have to break their necks to free them. My voice cracks as I say the last words. I hate the idea of killing innocent wolves, even if they signed up thinking the Rogue King's mission is the best way. They didn't sign up to be sacrificed. I hope the Moon Goddess gives them a better life the next time around. We dive in, and I keep my mates in my peripherals at all times. As much as I scoff at them for their overprotectiveness, I can't help but be aware of their safety at all times, too. I will never admit to keeping close enough to reach any of them in a single jump. They would never let me live it down that I wanted to be close to them. Wolf after wolf goes down, but they were right. They just keep coming. Is this what took so long to attack? He was building up numbers against us? Mateo asks. More than likely. My dad grunts as a wolf barrels into his side, sending him and the wolf locked in his jaw sideways to the ground. This is the attack to wear us out. He calls out casually, breaking his opponent's neck and turning to handle the one who knocked him down. They didn't expect the level of fighters we would have, though, based on how little fighting experience they seem to possess. They also can't seem to differentiate the higher-ranking targets versus the warriors. They are attacking whoever is closest to them. You would think if they were supposed to target our alphas, they would have all gone after you 4 when you got here. I am going to have to table the thoughts and emotions surrounding my dad having an actual conversation with me and calling me an alpha out loud for the first time. So, you are telling us that the faster we get rid of these idiots, the faster we can take our mate home? Dakota asks. Not really the thought I wanted in my head, man. My brother gripes, and my dad huffs in acknowledgement. Deal, asshole. Remember, my room was next to yours when you found your mate. That is the last thing Dakota says before he jumps in and starts tearing wolves apart left and right. Cam, Oliver, and I do the same, staying close. It takes another 2 hours to get through the hordes of wolves that just continue to come out of the water. They finally stop crossing, and we are able to wrap it up quickly. Our speed allowed the others to stop and watch the work being finished in moments, while they gathered and tended to wounds and minor injuries caused by the attacking wolves. Once the last attacking wolf was disposed of, we all shifted to human form and joined in with the healing. Still no smell. I wonder if that is so we can't tell they are coming, or if it keeps us from finding out which packs they are from, or what. I'm thinking out loud as I move through helping dress wounds that will need a few hours to heal. We have all huddled close to go through what happened today. Probably a mixture of all of those things, little one. I snap my head to the side and can't help the smile that spreads across my face. Osiston, when did you get here? I ran for him, and he scooped me up like the tiny person I still am compared to him. He gives me a hug and then sets me on the ground. Alphahood suits you, little one, though I thought you would maybe get a little bigger. He pats me on the head and I roll my eyes. You know I got bigger, jerk. I mutter. But bigger for me is nothing compared to you and my mates, who seem to also get bigger with each new thing that comes our way. I flap my hand at the 3 of them, looking smug since they now stand taller than him, but only by an inch or so. His royal alpha blood gives him more advantage than it ever gave or will give me. We have been scouring the lands around your pack and haven't found any sign of the Rogue King or Adriel. The Alpha King and I have both been personally searching, hoping our heightened senses would help, but we have come up empty-handed. Osiston explains once we are back at the pack house, sitting around the table on the patio. Elena and Gentry insisted on putting up barriers that would warn us of another attack, so we could lighten the number of patrolling wolves to give them more time to rest and recover from today. They also helped the healers with salves and tonics that would speed up the healing process, just in case another attack came tonight. But none of us think that will happen. This was some sort of test and possibly a disposal. Kyle and my dad stayed to help with the first run of patrols, and Brett and Osiston are on the next shift. Martha and Eleni made sure that we were all fed. Do you really think he was trying to lessen his numbers? Cam asks Osiston. That doesn't make any sense if they were tied to the spell keeping him hidden. It is if the spell works both ways? Gentry starts, and we all look at her confused. She smiles. Not all magic is completely under the control of the caster. Think of it like giving a child a direction to clean their room, but nothing more specific than that. There are hundreds of ways to interpret the direction, and a clever child will find a way to follow the direction while also not completing the task if they want to be a pain in the butt. Depending how the cloaking spell was cast, maybe we are cloaked in a way from the Rogue King, and he needed the attack today to get closer to us. This is something that Adriel would have known and would have planned for, leading us to believe they are not working toward the exact same goal, but you are the object of both of their desires. She looks at me. I pull off Cam's t-shirt and step in behind Oliver. Speaking of larger than life and gorgeous, he has always been tall, dark, and handsome, but the addition of the extra cut muscles that are rippling and flexing with each small movement he makes has me almost drooling, just staring at him. He looks over his shoulder and smiles at me with that half smile, making my breath catch. He doesn't stop what he's doing or say anything, just watches me out of the corner of his eye as I step into the stream of water he had on and warm for me next to the shower head he was using. I shower quickly before this turns into more than I can handle. We both stepped out and dried off. Another t-shirt was laid next to my towel. This time it is Cam's shirt, and I have to smile. I finish getting ready for bed after Oliver leaves the bathroom. It's sometimes overwhelming to have all three of them around all the time, but I also don't think I would want it any other way after spending so much of my youth alone. I would choose this chaos every time. Laying a claim there, brother? Dakota asks as I walk straight to the bed and laugh. Just thought it was fitting, that's all. You'll have her all day tomorrow. I wanted to remind her which triplet is superior. He lays back with his arms behind his head looking smug. I wonder if that will ever stop being weird to hear? Oliver slides in next to me. Get used to it. Tiny is the only one who can tell the three of us apart. It's actually kind of funny to watch people guess or not say our names when they talk to us. Even Mom and Brett can't tell. Cam shrugs. Not gonna lie, that's also an adjustment. I mean, I've never seen Dad with anyone, but to see him with the Luna is strange for me. Are you guys okay with that? I mean, it's been, 3 months since your dad passed. That's not a lot of time to grieve, if she even has. We've all been kind of busy. Oliver plays with a strand of my hair. I actually think that might be helping her, especially now. They were always close, like you and Tiny. There's always been a tight connection. She's a Luna, even if a former one, and she's worried about the pack and now all of us. We finally have our mate, and the person who's going to have our pups, and that is something she has looked forward to for a very long time. Now that we know what we do about Dad and Adriel and all of that stuff, I wonder if they were worried about us even surviving this long in life. But that is a conversation for another day. It has been a long one, and I worked over our little mate here. She needs her rest. We'll just have to wait and see which triplet she likes the best when we've all had our time alone. She can't base her decision on you alone when there are 2 others to choose from. Dakota climbs in and leans over his brother, making a show of kissing me deeply, and I just smile into it. He winks at me and pulls away. I have a whole day with you. I ignore them. What's tomorrow? We are training. You want to see what we can do, and Gina, Lil, and Sierra are the best people to spar with since they know your moves the best. We have been informed that they have given us enough time with you and we need to share. Wait, why haven't they said anything to me about that? They know you and know that you will put them first, even with the new mate bond in place. So they have been talking to us through their own mates. Don't ask. I stopped trying to figure out girls' thought processes a long time ago. Bottom line, they miss you. And I'm sure part of that was being stuck in the tornado. It was more than enough away time for them, but for us, it was hours. Cam caresses my face. Are you both not going to be there? I look from Oliver to Cam. We will, but Gentry and Elena want to work with us on our magic, so we will be around, but with other focuses. With the Rogue King right around the corner, and Adriel doing who knows what, we all need to be prepared. But to be honest, I'm not interested in being too far from you either. The thought used to make me sick when we were just friends, and I thought I was going to be your gamma. The idea that there's a threat and you are going to be on the other side of the training arena makes my skin crawl. The only thing that is keeping my wolf calm about it is the fact that Dakota will be with you. I lean in and give him a kiss, then turn to Cam to do the same. He tries to heat it up to rile up Dakota and Oliver, but Oliver snatches me back against his chest. I fell asleep almost instantly. I wake up early again. It's nice to have some kind of return to a schedule. I have been so off for so long, this little calm before the storm of the day is nice. I find myself back in the reading area. Ava was right, this is my favorite place. I am sitting with the dark green leather grimoire again. I haven't seen mine, which I plan on asking about when we see Gentry and Elena today. Maybe they have it to add to it. This time when I open the pages, my fingers feel cold. I've never had that with the grimoires before. Everyone I have ever handled has felt warm to the touch, like it was inviting me to read. This one almost seems like it's warning me off, but there is a different page marked, and I can't get past my curiosity. This one has swirls of black ink that are sharp and pointy like thorns. The paper also has an acrid smell like when plastic is burned, and the smell lingers in the air, stuck to everything. I can't decipher the words. This is a language that Elena never went over when we studied back at the palace. I'll have to ask her about it today. Hey, baby. Oliver kisses the back of my head. Good morning, love. Cam kisses the same spot. Hello, sweetness. You ready for a nice long day with me? Dakota scoops me up off my chairs, carries me into the kitchen. I want to go on record saying that whatever you got up to with Cam yesterday was hot, and I did have to spend an unusual amount of time in the shower, and I would like to return the favor. He kisses the side of my head again. Hey, can you wait on the favor return until after I am done working with Gentry and Elena? I think one day of embarrassment with them is enough, don't you? Oliver points a spatula at him. Wait, what happened? I hope I didn't get him in trouble. Let's just say that not only does your personal fire pit go off when you are messing around with us, but the mates you are not actively having shocks with can and will orgasm like it's the last climax they will ever have, no matter who is standing around. No, my hands are on my cheeks trying to hide the embarrassment. It was probably the best I have ever had by myself, and I didn't even need my own hand. He walks over to me and wraps me in a hug while looking at Dakota, who shrugs his shoulders shamelessly. But I was hard all day and came more than once. One even dropped me to my knees. I couldn't move for about 5 minutes, and all those two witches did was laugh at me. They tried to hide it at least, but not well. So I would appreciate some sympathy today. I move the green grimoire to the counter and turn to give him a hug. I am sorry that happened. I will try to be more aware of where everyone is. Don't. We don't want to interrupt your time with any of us. It can be so chaotic, and there are 3 of us. You do whatever you want with us. We won't complain. I promise. He kisses me on the forehead and pulls me in for another hug. What's this, Biddy? He reaches for the book. It's a grimoire, I think. It's not mine, and I don't know of anyone else who has one. It was on the bookshelves. I thought maybe it was given to Lucas. It feels cold and angry when I open it, like the book doesn't want me to read it. I was going to ask Gentry and Elena about it today. If it isn't friendly, let's not open it anymore and get down to them sooner rather than later. Cam jumps up to help cook, ending that conversation abruptly. He's been the most wary of the magic since he found out about the deal his parents made. Dakota and I get out plates and make coffee. It feels so domestic and and foreign and yet familiar all at the same time. I lean back against the low cabinet separating the kitchen from my sitting room and watch them like I used to watch all the guys from the patio when they would clean up after big dinners by the pool. "What has that smile on your face?" Dakota walks over and grabs my hand to bring me back to the island. "Just a little déjà vu watching you guys in the kitchen together." I smile and follow him to the island. They actually let me sit in a chair this morning, all by myself. We ate and talked about nothing in particular, and then got ready like this is our normal everyday. As soon as we hit the main floor, I am attacked by Sierra. She acts like we didn't see each other at all yesterday. Well, it was busy with the random wolves attacking. "Let's go test your fighting abilities now, and please promise not to kill anyone, all right?" She sing-songs as she leads me out the door, not caring at all who is following along. We go to one of the smaller arenas. We still haven't had the time or manpower to remove all of the broken obstacle pieces. It feels wrong to just leave it like that, but we have bigger problems. I do want it fixed before we bring the pups home, though. We move to the farthest edge of the arena, and Sierra turns me towards her. "Okay, now I really need to know. Are you happy? You always wanted to find your mate and basically ride off into the sunset with him. Now you have 3 mates, are here permanently, and you're an alpha because you are too good to be a Luna." She has her hands on her hips, and I can feel Gina and Lil behind me. We are upwind from them, but I can catch faint whiffs of their scents. Their presence is like a pressure at my back. Without looking, I can tell how far they are from me and at what angle they are to my back. "Dakota, have them test your blind spot just past your peripherals." I am happy. I only wanted to leave because of Kaylee. I figured they would find a way to make her Luna, and the abuse would just continue. But you came back a warrior, so even if Mike didn't help us take out the trash, you would have been able to beat her. Lil starts. "Smalls, this is so cool. I can feel them behind me like radar or something." Mateo is getting pissed. "Ha! I would never harm my Luna, even if it was Kaylee. That's why I wanted to leave. And what's wrong with being a Luna? Ava was a great Luna, so is Luna Ann." I ask, now realizing that they set me up in the center to be teamed up on. They all start to circle, and I try to follow them with my eyes when my wolf reminds me to use all of my senses. I know I can feel them around me, so I don't actually need to look. I can smell each one of them individually, so I can even tell which way they are circling. I can hear the sounds of the dirt shifting under their feet, and I have been with Lil and Gina on plenty of missions. I know they make no sounds to the non-enhanced ear. Lil strikes first. She's the most impulsive of my team and usually the first to strike. We tended to plan around that simple fact. She moves at my left side, which was my weaker side, but I grab her wrist before she even gets 2 steps closer to me and whip her around into Sierra. Gina takes her chance. She tries to jump at me from my right side. I just duck and let her jump over me. It all seems pretty standard sparring so far. They keep coming at me and I keep dodging them, not really putting in any effort. My wolf is laughing at whatever their wolf's commentary is. She won't tell me though, it's a wolf thing. Whatever. I'm still not great with the passing of time when I am working out and training, but they are panting and sweaty. I look over to Dakota and he looks just as calm and collected as I feel, but my brother and Sam are just as rough as the girls. "Okay, I think you and your mate need to spar for a little while." Lil laughs. "I haven't been this tired and sore since I started elite training camp more than 2 years ago." "You suck, Midge, I'm just saying." "I love you, but I also hate you a little right now. You're fast, and you were fast before. Now it's like you can read minds." "Yeah, it's like they can anticipate what's coming. I'm glad it's just the 2 of you. Having all 4 might actually kill us." Mateo laughs, walking over to check on Gina. Naturally, she pushes him away with a fake scowl. "Well, Smalls, what do you say? Want to take me on?" "I don't know if you could handle me, Dakota." I wink at him. "I'm pretty sure I handled you plenty the other night. Do you need another demonstration?" "I think that might have been a one-time thing. And you did have help?" I hear Cam and Oliver laugh from somewhere in the arena, but I don't take my eyes off Dakota. He's being playful, but the look in his eye says he's out to make an example right now, and I am completely here for his absolute takedown. He lunges at me and I just smile. Dakota grabs for my waist, but I turn out of his hold and aim a strike at his back. He counters and grabs my wrist. He pulls me towards him with a smile on his face like he's already won, and he wants to steal a kiss, but he has another thing coming. I let him pull me close enough to reach out and push up on his chin. I don't hit him, but I grab as much of his face as I can and drive his big ass back and down. I catch him off guard enough to get him off his feet. He wraps his arms around my waist and pulls me with him. His bulk overpowers me, no question. We tumble backward and he rolls so he ends up on top of me, but I still know how to use my size to my advantage, and I slide out from under him through his legs, leaving him on all fours. He scrambles at me like a wolf, and I raise my hands to protect myself. I'm not far enough away to do anything more, but I am met with a shower of dirt, a stunned Dakota and gasping friends as I open my eyes. What the hell, Oliver? No cheating. You're not allowed to protect her. Although I'm impressed with the distance, man. What the hell are you talking about? Oliver turns towards us, dropping his hands and whatever Gentry had him holding in the air. Elena and Cam stop too, looking over confused. You aren't allowed to put up dirt walls between her and her opponents. That is cheating. But again, that is a great skill to have. I didn't do anything. I have been trying to work with Cam, combining earth and wind as a weapon. There is no way I had enough concentration to make a wall. Then who did? I think the answer is obvious. Alpha Dakota. Gentry says the title, like she is trying to soften the insult of him not paying attention. Your tiny mate clearly can control the earth without the assistance of Oliver. It's not her main skill, but it came out in a time of need when her mind and body could think of no other way to escape from your attack. You were able to easily break through it, but it gave her and would give anyone else enough time to counter or get away. I would also like to see your wolves. Can they control the camouflage that Lil was talking about? Elena walks over. Cam and Oliver don't hesitate to get as close to me as possible. I'm interested in this wall you made. Oliver kicks at the small mound of dirt left behind after Dakota rammed through it. Do you think it was only a reaction, or can you control it? I'm not sure. I didn't even know I did it until you all said something. Why don't the three of you attack her, and she can see what happens, because I'm sure the rest of us would leave singed and missing limbs. Sam laughs, but looks a little worried. Yeah, Dakota got the best reactions out of her, and they were better matched. You guys are so fast, it's hard to watch. Gina adds in. I just shrug. I'm all for testing things out, and my muscles are loving the full-on workout. I can actually feel the tension leaving my body the more that we move. That was all my guys needed to start circling me. No fucking thank you. Lil shouts somewhere to my left. Did you see that? They all went into predator mode together, and no one knows who is who. That is freaky. She knows. My brother praises me. She was the only one who could tell Cam and Coda apart, and that was when there were only 2 of them and before any of her enhancements really kicked in. There's 3 of them now? But do you remember the trials? She was the only one who was double and triple teamed, and she wasn't even really supposed to be that far in the competition in the first place. She was too young. What do you mean trials? Gina asks. Oh, babe, you missed it. Mateo starts going into detail about how the trials worked and how I got special permission after Osistan and Nicholas saw me during our regular training in the pack. But I had to stop listening. I needed to concentrate. None of my guys are going to give me any sympathy. Dakota already said he wanted to make sure I didn't make him look like a complete idiot. All 3 are in a fighting stance. They've stopped circling since they know my brother is right and they won't confuse me. So looking alike isn't a benefit for them. I can tell that they are talking to each other. They aren't talking out loud or using their mouths at all, but it's as if I can read their minds, like someone would read lips. They are deciding who is going to attack first. They aren't coming at me all together. Interesting. I would have 2 attack while one watches for the reaction and initiates a second attack. They still don't want to hurt me. I am still their biggest weakness. I just shake my head, but I keep all emotion off my face. I am not going to egg them on or look intimidated. I can see Cam's muscles tense. He's going to strike first. My wolf and my body are ready to counter him. He's on my left and Dakota is on my right, leaving Oliver at my back. He's 2 steps further than Cam and Coda. Maybe he can read my mind and is hanging back to be the next attack. All of this plotting takes only a matter of a minute or so. I'm getting ready to go on the offensive and mess up their whole plan when Elena mind links me. Skylar, try to only use magic. Just do what you feel. Your mind and your wolf won't let you harm your mates. But they won't see it coming and they think they don't have to work as hard because there are 3 of them and they have the size advantage. She has taken to this wolf thing very well. I really need to sit down with her and talk through all the things going on with me and my dad and how all of this is supposed to work when we are finally done with the Rogue King. I take her advice, but keep my stance, not letting them know I have changed my tactics. My wolf and I focus on what is around us. There isn't anything fire-based near, and I don't think that would be my first line of attack. It can get too out of control too quickly. That's the major thing I have learned from all of this magic stuff. Each spell has its limitations, but magic cast and left alone with no direction can be catastrophic, even for the caster. The earth around me is plentiful. The whole arena is a dirt patch. I can feel water running under the ground, but it is too deep to pull quickly. I might be able to make a trench or moat if needed, though. The wind is also freely available, so I think a dust storm is what they are going to get. Cam launched himself at me, and I countered the same way I did with Dakota earlier. Only this time, I moved straight in Dakota's path, and he almost grabbed me, catching the hem of my tank top instead. I duck and spin, twisting his arm in it as Cam makes another run at me. I duck under Coda's legs, pulling him down with me, causing Cam to slam into him instead of sandwiching me. I wasn't completely aware of my surroundings, though. Oliver grabs my hips and pulls me back. My shirt is still fisted in Coda's hand, though, so he follows his arm through his legs and flips onto his back, pulls me out of Oliver's hands and across his chest.